Today I'm going to talk about a different topic. I'm going to talk about polishing your bullshit detector. And what I mean by that is how to actually work out in this day and age where there's so much information around, how to work out what is the truth. This comes up for a lot of people, and even my clients. A lot of people come into me and say they're really confused, they don't understand, they don't know what to feed their animals because there's so much information about there and it's all conflicting information, and so how do they know what's true? So how do you know what's true when you're looking at diet? Well, I covered that in my videos on day 2 and 3. Basically, you just need to look at how we're naturally designed. What are we set up to eat? Human anatomy and physiology dictates that we're set up for a plant-based diet. There's so much anthropological evidence that shows that we've been plant eaters for thousands upon thousands of years before we started exploring the planet and relying on other sources of foods in order to survive. And then over the years, the other sources of food, animal products, have become entrenched in our society and in our culture. But that doesn't mean that they're natural choices for our species. It doesn't mean that we're actually designed to set up to eat them, or that we should have eaten them in the first place. Unfortunately, our brain biochemistry works in a way that we look for something that's going to help us to conserve energy and something that's going to enable pleasure and reproduction. And animal products are so readily available these days that they're an easy choice to meet your caloric needs, and they're certainly an easy choice when you're looking at what society is doing. They're readily available in so many different foods. But we're not actually naturally set up to eat them in the first place. So although there's lots of beliefs that humans should eat meat, humans are hunters, humans need meat for iron, humans need cow's milk for calcium, all of those beliefs become ridiculous when you realize what the truth is. And so that's how you can polish your bullshit detector. Once you understand the truth, how we're naturally designed to eat, it becomes very, very clear, and you don't have to worry about all of that anymore, and the confusion just drops away. You know in yourself that this is what we're designed to eat, and therefore if I make the right choices, health will be the result. And so then some people come up against roadblocks, and so maybe they want to experiment with the vegan diet, or they'll try it out for a little while, but it doesn't feel right straight away. Maybe they don't have a lot of energy, or their iron levels get low, or they might feel dizzy or weak, or for lots of different reasons it doesn't feel right. And so then they immediately go, oh well, this can't be the right diet for me. That's when you have to really look at, I guess, your internal bullshit detector as well, and problem solving. So when you know the truth, you don't just throw it out the window. You start going looking for solutions when you come up against a problem. Maybe you don't feel great on a vegan diet because you're not eating enough. Plant foods are much higher in fibre, and so they'll satiate you more quickly, but they're much lower in calories per gram as well. So unless you eat more food, you may not be getting enough. Maybe you've got a genetic SNP and you're an undermethylator and you're not converting the B12, and so maybe you need a B12 supplement, and then you might feel great if you take one. There's lots of different little things that you'll have to work through in that transitional phase until you get it right. And so, people often come up with excuses in their heads as well, and, oh, but I can't do that because, I work really long hours and it's too hard for me, or, I can't, it's so much easier for you because of this and this. Well, just stop and pause for a minute and really critically evaluate that thought. And is that actually true? Or is that just a roadblock that you're putting up because it's an easier path to go that way. You know, our brain's always looking for habitual paths because they feel comfortable, and easier paths because they're going to conserve our energy. But if you just stop and mindfully think about those little roadblocks, then you might find that actually there is a better solution that's going to help lead you towards long-term health and wellness. And so really start critically evaluating everything and start looking into those basic beliefs and whether they're actually true, because there is only one truth, and the truth is that our bodies are set up to be plant eaters. They have the anatomy and physiology of a frugivorous ape, and obviously we're not going to go all move to the tropics and live in the rainforests and climb trees for fruit and live barefoot in the dirt, which is what we're naturally designed to do. And so we do need to make minor adjustments. You know, the fruitarian diet isn't going to be correct for everybody these days because of how we're living. You know, we're not living the way we're naturally designed to. And so fruits might not be high enough in micronutrients because they're getting grown in poor soils, or they're getting shipped long distances before they get to you. Unless you're growing a lot of your own food and you're out in the garden in the dirt and you're running a permaculture or a biodynamic system, your food's probably not going to have everything in it that you need. And so it's going to take a little while to find out the balance of foods that works for your body, and it's going to take a little while to make sure that you're getting everything you need before you might feel like you're thriving, before you might feel great. But when you know in your body and in yourself that this is correct, then you'll keep working through those problems as they come up, and eventually you'll feel like you've got it right, you're on the right path, and you'll start to reap the benefits. So, funny little topic, but I think it's an important one to cover because we're up against so much factual information these days. We're hit with it daily just because of how culture and society works, but that doesn't mean that it's right for us. So that's it for today. See you tomorrow.